Should you, as a follower of Jesus Christ, be keeping Hanukkah? I know that a lot of people like to think that it's just another tradition, a tradition of men, that it's not biblical, that it's probably pagan, but I would like to make the argument that it is actually very biblical. It might not be a commanded feast like the ones in Leviticus chapter 23, Passover, Sukkot, and the rest, but it is still very biblical, and you definitely should take into consideration in commemorating it and keeping it for yourself. Now, just to give you basically a summary of what we're usually told that Hanukkah is about, is that the Jewish people during the Greek king Antiochus Epiphanes IV was ruling or took over the land. He basically went into the temple one day, defiled it by sacrificing a pig on God's altar, and then proceeded to oppress the people, the Jewish people, and try to get them to convert and leave God and the godly biblical things behind. And they basically had to endure this for around 3.5 years until finally a small group of Jewish people led by Judah Maccabee rose up, fought the Greeks. They were able to win, kick them out, and they were able to get God's altar and temple back, and they wanted and did rededicate all of this back to God. And that's basically the story of Hanukkah. But another thing is that traditionally, this is part of the story. They say that whenever they were rededicating everything back to God, that they only had enough oil to last for one night, but it lasted for 8 days. Now that I would definitely say is very much made up, just like Santa. But I would still make the argument that Hanukkah is very much biblical. So the Hebrew word Hanukkah in Hebrew actually means dedication, and we can find it throughout the scriptures, especially in the Old Testament, and we are about to jump into that. But first, I want us to read John chapter 10, verse 22. It says, "Then came the festival of dedication at Jerusalem. It was winter, and Jesus was in the temple courts walking in Solomon's colonnade." So, we know that John makes the mention that if he were to list every single miracle that Jesus ever made while he was here on earth, that there would just be way too many books written, like there would not be enough space to fill up exactly how many things he has actually done. And so he proceeds to try to write down the most important things, what he believes would be the most important things. And it's very interesting to note that he makes a very quick mention of it. It says that he was there in Jerusalem in the temple courts, that Jesus was there during the festival of dedication, which is Hanukkah. It is